We have one final stop before AEW All In, and that, of course, is Collision. Welcome back, guys, to your Fog Wrestling review for the 26th of August, 2023. And to be honest, not really feeling AEW, not feeling All In, not feeling wrestling in general at the moment. Not too sure if it's because wrestling absolutely sucks, or is it to do with the recent deaths of Bray Wyatt and Terry Funk? Maybe it's a little bit of both, but I think wrestling just seems like it's very stale, just deflated at the moment. It's just a weird feeling about wrestling. Nothing about tonight's show I really enjoyed. Nothing about AEW All-In's getting me looking forward to it. I couldn't tell you the last time I actually watched wrestling and thought, wow, that was good, that was great. I enjoyed that. It's been a while, so let's get into this show. Let's see if there was anything that was okay on it. We kick off with Jungle Boy. He is having a memorial for the FTW title. Basically, this title is getting buried, according to Jungle Boy. And I don't know, is this the right time to do this? I'm not a snowflake, I'm not insensitive, but I mean, this guy's having a memorial just when Bray Wyatt has passed away like 40 hours ago. Who knows? And Terry Funk, to be honest. We've seen CM Punk paying tribute to Terry Funk later on tonight, on the same show that they were having a memorial for a stupid belt. But I'm not saying that's wrong, but it does look a little bit weird when you look at it. Anyway, he says that he's going to retire the title, but first he wants to show us the greatest memories and moments with the belt, and it was basically him just sleeping with the belt and fucking doing this dumb shit with the belt. So out comes, on the Titantron, we get Hook appearing, and Hook's doing like push-ups on this pole, I don't know, it's a lamppost or something. He's doing push-ups, and then he says, "I'm coming for you," and then we cut back to the ring, and we see Hook standing behind Perry. He hits a couple of suplexes, then hits a suplex through the table before Perry could smash the belt with a sledgehammer, and then he says, "Me, you, tomorrow night," and that's it. That's the match set. Hook versus Jack Perry for the belt and All In. Hook must be one of the worst fucking guys in wrestling today. I'm not sure why anybody rates this guy, but he is extremely overrated. Never ever has Hook done anything that I thought was, wow, that was good, that was enjoyable. The guy absolutely sucks. I know he's Taz's son, but give us Taz. Come on, I'd rather watch a 60-year-old Taz wrestle than watch Hook. Match 1, we got Orange Cassidy, Penta, and Eddie Kingston versus the Butcher, the Blade, and Kip Sabian. I mean, what is the point of the Butcher and the Blade still being employed? This team has never done anything in their entire existence. From day one in AEW, they've been nothing but fucking jobbers. And I get it, they've got a hot valet, but I mean, surely they could just do something else with the bunny. There is no reason to keep the Butcher and the Blade about. No reason at all. Both of these guys fucking suck, and they lost this match to nobody's surprise. Eddie Kingston got the win with the elbow drop or whatever. Then after the match, they're trying to cut promos. The Titantron comes on. We have the Blackpool Combat Club, and they're also with the two Mexican guys whose names cannot come to my head right now because they're not important. They run down Kingston. They all say Kingston's a hypocrite, and it's always everyone else's fault but his own. And they say that Kingston's going to end up with no friends, and for some reason this infuriates Kingston. The thought of having no friends for Kingston's just too much to handle, so he can't take it. He runs to the back and he's looking for the Blackpool Combat Club. He's looking for the two Mexican guys. He can't find them. He then asks the cameraman, "Where are they? Where did they go? I know you were interviewing them. I know you had them on camera. You were filming them. Where did they go?" And he's got his straps down. It's just big fucking beer bellies bouncing all over the place. And then he gets a close-up of the camera and he starts kissing the camera, and he tells Wheeler Yuta that he's going to bury him. And it's like, what's with all these bury references? Like, we've just planted two legends in the last 40 hours, and I mean, AEW's going all out with funerals and burying comments. And then he says he's going to set Kingston on fire, and he's going to scar him for life. No, I mean, he's going to set, I wish he'd fucking maybe he'd be better off setting himself on fire. He said he's going to set Claudio Cascaroli on fire, and he's going to fire him. He's going to burn him, and he's going to scar him for life. Does anybody buy this? I certainly do not. Then we got the Dark Order versus Action Andretti and Dante Martin. I refuse to talk about Dark Order matches. I fucking hate John Silver. Him and his shrimp little legs. I mean, how can anyone take this guy seriously? He looks about 4'2", which apparently is the same height as Hornswoggle. But I think Hornswoggle is not only taller than John Silver, he'd probably kick his ass in a real fight too. Fuck John Silver. This guy shouldn't be wrestling. He is a midget. He shouldn't qualify for proper male wrestling. If he wants to do mini wrestling in a circus in Mexico, then by all means send him over there in a burrito box. But fuck me, do not have him on national TV with his little shrimpy legs. I honestly don't get it. Do not get it at all. Newcastle hit the post, but anyway, we'll move on because no one wants to talk about football. We want to talk about fake wrestling. Dark Order beat Action Andretti and Dante Martin. I think the Dark Order were turning heel here as well, but I mean, who really cares? The Dark Order get their first win in about 2 years. Probably paying tribute to Bray Wyatt here, since Bray Wyatt and Brody Lee were close. Why else would we be showcasing the Dark Order? Doesn't make a lot of sense. We then got Big Bill versus some guy called Morales. Another guy that looks like he probably could be from Mexico. A lot of Mexican-themed shit happening on this show, but Big Bill beats him with a big boot and then a big choke slam, and that was it. Finito. There's no way this guy's kicking out. And then after this, Ricky Starks pulls his belt off and he starts whipping him with the belt. He starts just like strapping him and he says, this guy reminds me of a young Ricky Steamboat. And then he starts battering him with the belt. I like Ricky Starks, right? People might call him the Pebble. He's no Dwayne Johnson, he's no Rock, but he's certainly as good as anybody in AEW, in my opinion. When you look at the upcoming stars that they've created, I know he's not considered a pillar. I know he said he doesn't want to be a pillar, but fuck, he's more of a pillar than Jungle Boy. He's more of a pillar than Darby Allin and all those geeks. So I do like Ricky Starks. Then we got Willow Nightingale versus Robin Renegade with Charlotte Renegade. So I take it these are the Renegade twins. And why not? I don't think they're going to be the new Bellas anytime soon, but it's the first time I've seen them. Apparently they wrestle on Ring of Honor, taking on Willow tonight. I don't know why Willow Nightingale all of a sudden is getting a massive push. I mean, she looks massive in size, but there's just no reason logically why all of a sudden she's been treated like this big deal, because she's been nothing over the past 6 months. Her and Sky Blue, it's almost like Tony Khan's realised, fuck, my women's division is terrible. I'm just going to push the next 2 women that walk through the door. Then 6 months ago, these 2 people must have just arrived at the arena, walked through the door, and Tony Khan was like, that's it, those 2, I'm going to push them to the moon, because it came out of absolutely nowhere. Anyway, Willow Nightingale wins, hits a powerbomb. She celebrates after the match. Speaking of massive, up next we get Keith Lee, but it actually looks like he's lost a few pounds. So it turns out that Collision is limitless. But if you ask me, I think Keith Lee is limited because he's had limited amount of TV time. We've not seen this guy. And the entire time he's been in AEW, what has he done? He's had a throwaway tag team run with Swerve Strickland, then he had a feud with Swerve Strickland that went absolutely nowhere. The guy sat in the crowd, ate some donuts, and that's about the height of his career. This is the guy that we were told that was going to get pushed properly in AEW, was going to get booked properly in AEW. Tony Khan was going to do what McMahon couldn't do and treat Keith Lee with respect and give him a proper run. But has he had a proper run? Has he done anything of note? Has Keith Lee really looked like a main event guy in AEW? No, in my opinion, he looked better in WWE. At least in WWE, they had him win that Survivor Series match. What have they had him win in AEW? They've had him win absolutely nothing, so I'm just not seeing it. He beat some guy called Sicky Dice in about 2 seconds. What can I say about this? Who the fuck is Sicky Dice? So, I mean, it is what it is. We then got Joe come out to do commentary. Punk came out with Terry Funk. We remember the Funkster sign. Punk paying tribute to Funk, and I guess why not. Didn't know Punk was a big fan of Funk, but it's nice to see him at least with a sign. I'd rather see him with a Remember Terry Funk sign than see him with a trans sign, that's for sure. So CM Punk's definitely up in his game here with the signage usage. Anyway, we get the match. It's Punk, Sting, Darby Allin and Hook versus Swerve Strickland, Luchasaurus, Brian Cage and Jay White. Very strange matchup here. Jay White, where's Jay White's crew? Where's the Guns? Where is the other guy that he's with in Bullet Club Gold? And none of those people were here tonight. Jay White was representing on his own. Juice Robinson, where was he? None of those guys were there. With Sting again and another throwaway 8-man tag match. I think more, sometimes less is more. I mean, just give us a fucking Sting match. Just even if it could only go 5 minutes, we would much rather see Sting go 5 minutes than Sting being stuck on the apron for 20 minutes waiting for a hot tag. But the match itself, I mean, whatever. CM Punk, he submits Cage with he first hits the GTS, then he locks in Samoa Joe's finishing maneuver, and he makes Cage tap out. So the Coquita Clutch, Punk didn't really do it as good as Cage. After the match, Joe was like, screw this, I'm not having this, and he jumps out, he gets in the ring, and he starts battering CM Punk, and we get a big brawl. Everyone starts brawling. We get Punk brawling, Joe brawling. Jack Perry comes out and starts talking Hook. Basically, everyone just started brawling here. It was a big, massive brawl to end Collision, and I mean that was kind of it. It just ended flat. Everybody brawling. Nothing stood out. It was just 8 guys, 9 guys if you include Jack Perry, just brawling at ringside. And considering this was the last show, the last thing you see before All In, supposedly the biggest and best wrestling show ever, I thought they could have done a lot more. So yeah, sometimes less is more, but they just had a bunch of fucking guys, and it doesn't really achieve anything. Like sometimes you can have a big brawl at the end of the show and it achieves something, like that SmackDown ending that is considered the greatest ever SmackDown ending. But this, nothing really stood out. It was just a bunch of bodies throwing punches, throwing each other into things, and then that was it. It ended with Samoa Joe hitting Punk with a chair, then walking off to the back. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, I guess the positives to take for this show is that Keith Lee has lost a bit of weight, and that's good because nobody wants to be a fat bastard, including Keith Lee. I want 2 number 9s, a number for 9 large, and a large soda. Aye, well, you know what? Cut down on those big, large Mac meals, Keith Lee, and maybe you'll live another year. Anyway, that is it, guys. Seen too many deaths. Keith Lee, it's time for you to lose a bit of weight. And he has lost a bit of weight, so fair play to him. This show, though, wasn't good. It's going to lose some weightage in the rating department. I'm going to get a 1 out of 10. Just was not a good show, but it's good to see Keith Lee looking slim because a lot of people were worried about his health. So he did get uncontrollably out of weight there for a while. So it's good to see him slimming down. Anyway, guys, that's it. AEW All In later tonight. Catch you in the next one. Peace.